everyone, and thank you for joining us on After GMS. It is Thursday, June 23rd. Wow, we are zooming through June. I'm Tracy B. Kane here with Megan Malaris and our meteorologists, Ed Matthews and Christian Morgan. Thursday. That's all I have to say.
We are zooming through summer. I mean, it's almost the end of June. The forecast has been getting considerably warmer than it had been. So it looks like humidity is back, unfortunately.
Yeah, it really is. And June 2022 will go down as a hot month of weather in the Piedmont. I can assure you that. In fact, yesterday was our hottest day of the year so far and our hottest day in almost 3 years. At 96 degrees. Believe it or not, it's actually pretty hard for us to get up into the upper 90s or 100 degrees here in the Piedmont because usually that heat comes with humidity and that makes it a little more difficult for the air to heat up. But yes, yesterday was 96 degrees, hottest day in almost 3 years and almost 6 years since we were hotter than that at 97 degrees. Of course, some folks did hit 97 yesterday, 97 Burlington, 97 Winston-Salem, 94 in Asheboro. Lexington also checked in at 96 degrees. And if you are keeping track, a little bookkeeping here, 11 days at 90 on the year so far. We average about 37 of those. So we still have plenty of time to tack on more. Trust me. Low 70s out the door this morning as you start out across the Piedmont. And of course, we didn't really fall down as cool as we have been the last few mornings because of this. Yeah, that humidity has really roared back in a big way, has it not? Yesterday morning, in fact, our dew points were in the mid and upper 50s. Now this morning, they're in the mid and upper 60s. So yes, much different feel to the air as you step outside this morning. That is partially because of a south wind that will start to get a little more in on. We'll start to take a little more control of our weather. So the heat is here, the humidity is here, and there's a bit of a front that will try to get across the Piedmont, but really never has success doing that. It kind of fizzles out tomorrow and as we go into your Saturday. High pressure is going to start to take control of our weather this weekend and get us back to the very typical summertime stuff. Today, most of us will stay dry. I wouldn't rely on Mother Nature to water the garden or take care of your plants, but there could be an isolated shower or a storm somewhere as we go into this afternoon and into this evening. But I do think most of us will stay dry. And if you get one of those storms, they may pack a little punch, but I think overall our severe weather risk is extremely low for today. After today, we head into your Friday and into the weekend with a very typical summertime pattern. You notice the rain chance does go up, though, early next week. We'll have another cold front on the way Monday into Tuesday, and that could give us a little better chance of scattered showers and storms. Of course, all of us could really use some rain right about now. Partly cloudy today. Otherwise, we're in the mid and upper 80s, feeling like the low 90s when you factor in that humidity. And again, watching the afternoon and evening for an isolated shower or storm. Overnight, we fall back into the mid and upper 60s going into your Friday. Friday's a pretty nice summer day of weather, mid and upper 80s, low 20% chance of just a stray shower or a storm, and then it's typical summertime heading into the weekend. Temperatures will hover around 90, and we run that 20 to 30% chance of a hit or miss storm over the weekend. I do see a chance, though, for us to get a little cooler and maybe a little less humid briefly early next week.
Of course, everybody, when it's this warm out, you think, how do I stay cool? I need something to keep me cool, right? So you automatically turn on the AC, but do you set it at 78 degrees? Probably not. Maybe you do. Would you consider that high temperature, though, to save money this summer?
Well, Duke Energy suggests setting your AC to 78 degrees when you're home and 80 when you are out of the house. They say raising the temperature by 2 degrees will reduce your cost by 5%.
Okay, some people are never doing that. I'm one of them. But everybody has different opinions, so drop your comment here and we'll talk about it coming up. So let's talk about that for a minute, guys. 78 degrees sounds like a lot, but you know, we keep our temperature set at 74 in the house and we're cool throughout the summer. We just don't even change it. 78 though sounds a little high to me, but we do save. Our energy bill is the same no matter what. Every month. It's within $1 or $2. It never varies, but we keep our temperature literally set at the same temperature whether we're there or not. And it works. We don't have a crazy month of bills one month and, you know, nothing the next. So We like it consistent in our house.
You must do a good job keeping the doors closed and everything too, windows closed, because that's awesome that you can keep that variation so slim. I think it also depends on the type of thermostat or the type of AC system you have.
Yeah, it's pretty new.
We have like an older one, and so ours is just absolutely all over the place, even though we try to help it. I would prefer to set my house at 78 degrees. That's what it was when I was growing up. My husband, every time he goes to my mom's house, says this is way too hot. We compromise at about 72, 73 in our home. The kids are warm-natured, but I'm always freezing. I have a sweater on all the time, and I'm the oddball out. So yes, I could do what Duke Energy is suggesting, but seems like the average person on here cannot.
78 makes me sweat thinking about it.
Sounds warm, doesn't it?
Does sound warm. Usually the highest I ever go in the summer is leaving it. I cut it down when I go to sleep at night, but then before I leave for work in the mornings, I usually set it to 75 and then keep it there throughout the day. And then when I'm home or if I'm around the house, I'll knock it down to about 73. But 78 that's toasty.
All right, Ed Matthews, you are one of like the most efficient people I know. So tell us your tricks.
Oh yeah, definitely. I do everything possible to keep that power bill down. I've tried 78 and it doesn't work for me. So I've tried it, and I think that's just a little bit too warm. I have found that 76 day and night works pretty good. Tracy, I'm like you, set it on 76 and pretty much leave it there. I never go below 75. I have just a wild and crazy air conditioning system, and when it comes on, it's like a polar front moving, through my condo, which I love and I appreciate that. But 76 works for me. And don't forget, I've said before that I have ceiling fans, and I think that helps to keep the air circulated in my condo, and that really does help.
It does. I mean, the little tricks that you learn over time, especially in your home, everybody's home is built differently. Insulation is different in different parts of the house. So you kind of have to just know your house and what little things you can get away with. Like, I know we do not wash any clothes or dry them during the day. It is a no-no in our house.
Yeah.
We just wait until after 6 or after 7 when we're not using as much energy. And that's when I like to do it anyway, because that's when I have more time to do the laundry. And we don't, open the windows a whole lot either. We just kind of keep it cool by using the AC.
I think a lot of it depends on how much sun you get too. Like my living room gets a lot of sun. So, my air conditioning works a little harder to keep it cooler. But if you have a lot of shade around your house or your living room is a little more shaded, then you probably don't have to have it up as high.
Right. All right, well, great conversation. Have you been looking at comments,
Yeah,
Meg?
we're getting a lot. Jose made a good point. He said he guarantees the Duke Energy corporate building is not set at 78.
Yeah,
we'll have to verify that.
Yeah.
I laughed at that.
We'll have to verify that.
That's
I'm not
funny.
sure. If you work at Duke Energy, please do some investigating for us as far as what the thermostat is set on. A couple people say they could do it. Let's see, Carla said, so you can save enough energy to drive your electric car. I guess thinking it's a wash, essentially, doing that. Jose said he keeps it at 69 or 70. That's where it stays. Marquise keeps his on 70. The bill isn't even $90 a month. Wow. I'd like to know what system you're using. Marquise. Laquan said 72 is where it stays. Melody keeps hers at 68 with the window unit. Rachel sets it on 80 during the day. While she works from home, bumps it to 75 when her husband gets home and 69 when sleeping.
Nice.
Yeah.
By the way, it's so funny. Pam is sharing some stuff. She says, keep the blinds closed. It doesn't heat up as often if you keep your blinds closed. And she says a few dollars are worth that kind of comfort. I agree. We keep our blinds closed as much as we can, but natural sunlight is something that I feel like does the body some good. So we'll play with that, but not much else. Cindy said, my husband would love it, but I have it at 73. And Eric says, the little trick I do is to keep it at 65.
Whoa. That would be an ice cube.
Yes,
Sounds right.
I agree.
65. Francis reminds us that ceiling fans, like you, Ed, said, that they help considerably too.
If they're going in the right direction. You got to check on that. If you feel like your ceiling fan's not working, check the way the blades are spinning.
I guarantee you at least 75% of people do not switch their blades. It might
Probably
be
not.
more. It might be more. Because I keep my ceiling fan going, and it's literally the same direction every year.
Yeah.
Just
I don't
never
think I've turned my
reverse it.
ceiling fan off in 2 years.
Turn it off?
I don't think I've
Just
turned it off
always
in 2
on.
years.
Okay.
Wow.
I mean, I guess, again, it all depends on your system, but apparently keeping your ceiling fan on 24/7 is not really good for energy savings either. But yes, if it makes you comfortable.
I want to say that Pam brought up a good point as well, and this is something I do in my guest bedroom since I don't use it, is to close the blinds. That can really help to keep the heat outside, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, and close the door sometimes in rooms.
Yeah,
that
I
you're
do
not
that as
using.
well. Yeah. I have to remember all these things. I really am trying to save energy. Yeah. And it works. It really does. You know, they seem like these things would be very minute, but when you add them all together, it really does make a difference.
I have to expand on this question to Christian. So you haven't turned off your ceiling fan. I just want to make sure I understand this right.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't turned it off.
It just, okay.
It stays on a low to medium. Yeah, I think it's on low, but it stays on. I haven't checked it in 2 years. I'll have to get back with you. It stays on. It stays on low, at least in my bedroom anyway, and it keeps at least some kind of air circulating in there, even on a hot day or a cool day. I don't like stagnant air. I don't like it to get stuffy. So if I keep the fan at least on low, it just kind of keeps things moving around.
Okay.
But I'll check on it. I'll let you know what setting I have it on.
Yeah, let me know tomorrow.
I cannot stand ceiling fans, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, we have one circulating for the kids just to keep them cool, but if it were up to me, I would have no ceiling fans in the house.
Is it because of the dust?
I just don't like the dust. I just don't like the blades spinning constantly. I don't know. That's just one of my things. I don't like ceiling fans.
You know, we rarely used ours until we
Yeah.
had kids, and I realized that the babies like to look up and like to stare at the ceiling fan. And ever since then, I've been like, ceiling fan, you know, because it keeps them calm when they're just like on the bed, whether it's
True.
they're going off to sleep or getting a diaper change or something, but they're just like, I'm like, what are you
Constant
staring at?
It's entertainment.
Yeah, they love it. I don't know why.
I hate being hot when I sleep too, which I think is why I keep it on.
Yeah.
Hate being hot.
Christian Lloyd said it's probably full of dust and you have to turn that off to clean it.
Well, all right. So it's, aside from like, you know,
point, Lloyd.
the couple minutes to clean it, it's been on for about 2 years.
Okay, so it has been off briefly.
I'm not living in a dust bowl, okay? I'm too
Julie said-
OCD for that.
Julie said that she never turns hers off either, Christian. So there is another one of you.
See?
I
couple
turn
of
it
us.
off and on.
All right. This is a great conversation. A lot of people say they have to just turn it down when they're sleeping. It's too hot to sleep on 78. So, all right. By the way, we talked to an expert about this a couple years ago. I remember verifying, you know, ways to save, and one of the biggest ones he suggested was a programmable thermostat. If you have a system where that would work and you're in and out of your house all the time, at consistent parts of the day, program the thermostat so that it adjusts the temperature for you. And so it's already cool by the time you get home. You're not cranking it back up because you're so warm, and that can help save money too.
Yeah, our morning headlines actually focus on this as well.
Okay.
You know, we're talking about AC, and really that's a luxury.
It is.
A lot of people don't have that option, especially when it's this hot. Whew, you know, we're fighting for relief, but people who are homeless don't have that.
Yeah, unfortunately, finding a place to stay cool for people who don't have a permanent place to live is a hardship.
The Tiny House Community Development is helping them stay cool, and our IT News Miller shows you how.
Well, during the summer months, Center City Park is a common place the homeless like to hang out. A Greensboro outreach team is meeting them where they are to make sure they don't experience any heat-related illnesses during these hot summer days. The Tiny House Community Development Outreach Team is collecting and distributing supplies to the homeless. Here are some of the items that they need some help collecting. They include wet wipes and sunscreen. Supplies can be dropped off at 1310 Westgate City Boulevard in Greensboro. The hours are up on the screen for you.
And it's not something we just have to turn a blind eye to, and it's going to fix itself, or something we just leave up to, you know, government officials. It's something we have to do together. We have to advocate for our friends. We have to provide for our friends as much as we can, whatever that means to you. If it means providing a hot meal, if it means providing supplies.
The outreach team has collected more than 20 supply bags this week for the homeless. The group says they are working with community partners to install cooling stations downtown. And we know it's hard times for everyone right now, so if you can't donate, that's totally fine. The outreach team says they could use some volunteers to help distribute some of their supplies. We'll have their contact information on our website.
Well, the Interactive Resource Center in Greensboro is partially back open today. Remember, earlier this week, the organization closed due to a COVID outbreak. The IRC posted on Facebook saying some of their staff members are cleared to return, so they will open the day room as a cooling center today and tomorrow from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. All other programs, however, will resume Monday as scheduled.
In your other morning headlines now, the Winston-Salem Police Department says a house fire is now the center of a death investigation. This happened just after 8 last night on Renegar Street. Once the fire was out, firefighters found 81-year-old Barbara Harmon's body inside the house. Police are now looking into the circumstances of this fire. We'll keep you updated on this developing story on WFMYnews2.com. A legendary businessman who changed racing and a NASCAR Hall of Famer has died. Bruton Smith passed away of natural causes Wednesday, according to his family. He was 95. Smith founded Speedway Motorsports, which today owns and operates 11 motorsports entertainment facilities. One of them is Charlotte Motor Speedway, the track he opened in 1960. At the time, it featured a 600-mile race, the longest ever in NASCAR history. Funeral details for Smith are still in the works. People have been sharing their sympathies. Big players in the racing world. Dale Earnhardt Jr. wrote, "His ambitious vision created growth and opportunities that I am forever thankful for," end quote. The King, Richard Petty, wrote, quote, "He was a pioneer of our sport. Bruton touched the lives of so many and impacted the lives of everyone he met," end quote.
Well, Tuesday night, the city of Winston-Salem and the council approved its $627 million budget. It means new positions and pay raises are coming to the city of Winston-Salem. $1 million will go towards increasing firefighters' pay. They also approved funding for 35 new positions across all departments. There will be an increase in property tax and water and sewer rates for those who live within the city. The work at the Greensboro Randolph mega site to build a Toyota battery plant is ongoing. The $1.2 billion plant will make batteries for electric cars and employ over 1,700 people. The mega site is also attracting interest near this site. A real estate agency owner in Pleasant Garden says he expects demand for land in the area to continue to grow as the work continues.
Not as hot as our 96 yesterday, but we'll be into the upper 80s. And now that the humidity is back up a bit, it's going to feel like generally into the low 90s today. An approaching cold front in the afternoon heating will give us a few late day showers and thunderstorms, and one or two of those will linger into the evening hours. Otherwise, the sky will clear tonight as we drop into the mid 60s, and a couple of real nice days coming up, really right on through the weekend. Pretty nice for all your outdoor plans. Generally dry Friday and Saturday, mid and upper 80s. Upper 80s with an isolated storm possible on Sunday. We'll keep an eye on Monday and Monday night. Another cold front heads our way. Hopefully this one will give us a more widespread rain event as opposed to kind of hit and miss showers. And we'll be watching that and updating you on that through the weekend. We continue to dry out, so a generous rain would be a good thing for the Piedmont.
A good thing. Would also mean no humidity for the entire summer, but we know that good thing is just too good to be true.
Can't deliver on that.
Yeah, 0% chance of that happening.
Yeah. Man, wouldn't that be nice though? Well, thanks so much for joining us on this great energy conversation here on After GMS. We look forward to talking with you again tomorrow.
Get out there and get to it and have a wonderful day.
See you.